hello. How are you? How's your weekend so far? Now, welcome back to Ask Jason Anything About Meta Advertising. Now, this is where I go live every Sunday night, usually between 10 to 11 p.m. Malaysia time. So, yeah, if you wish to join me live, this is the time that you can actually stay tuned. I wish because sometimes I'll be out, and I come back late and I still want to go live, but I won't be able to make it at 10 o'clock because that's what I usually do in the past 5 years. Recently, because of my lifestyle change, sometimes we do hang out a little bit later. So yeah, it may kind of shift. Like now, we are actually going live at 10:35, which is fine. It's not too late, and we can still chat about meta advertising and digital marketing. So if you have any questions regarding meta advertising, digital marketing, all you need to do is first thing first, please visit my YouTube channel and try to search for an answer because I posted over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel regarding meta advertising and digital marketing. Chances are I probably have covered something similar to the challenges that you're facing right now. So if you can find an answer, great. Move on and do whatever you need to do next because that's you have got 1,000 things to worry about when it comes to meta advertising. But if you cannot find an answer, do not worry. All you need to do is you can just post your question, anything. Post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to screenshot your question, and on the following Sunday, I'll be answering your questions live on here. But if you can join me live, and you can feel free to post your question in the chat. Even if you are watching this as a replay, feel free to post your question in the comment as well. And what I'm going to do is once I finish covering all the questions I have, I'll be going back to answer questions that I received in the chat. Okay? Right, so let's go on. Oh, by the way, I mean, if this is the first time you see me, hi, my name is Jason. I'm a Meta Ads Optimization Strategist from Malaysia. So what I do is I help brands get better results with meta advertising. So whether you are new to meta advertising and you kind of find it difficult, you just don't understand the ads manager, the business portfolio, and stuff like that. You need help navigating, walking you through every steps that you need to know in order to make everything right. That's where I can help. Or if you have been running ads and you want to take it to the next level. See, the thing here is if you have not been getting good results, we need to find out why. That's what I do best, right? Because my method is very straightforward. I use the data to help us make decisions. So it's all about making decision with the right tools and metrics and backups and information instead of making ads decision based on gut feeling. I mean, when I say that, what I mean here is what do you usually do? You kill the campaign, right? That's what most people would do. But here's the thing: it worked for 2 weeks. What you just did when you kill the campaign is you just throw away the fact that it worked well for the past 2 weeks. I mean, so when a campaign is not working, we need to find out why. And usually, when we find out why, there are a few things we can do. We can actually try to make it back to performing, or we can learn from whatever that happened to it so that we won't be making the same mistake in the future. So that's really the key of my philosophy when it comes to meta advertising. Okay, so yeah, I think we had a glitch a little bit just now for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, and on the other hand, if you have been running ads and you have been getting good results, the other challenge that you probably face is when you want to take it to the next level, meaning you want to scale your campaign. Uh, let's say if you've been spending $1,000 a day and you've been making like $10,000, that's about 10x ROAS. Awesome, amazing. So when you want to take it to the next level, you want to spend 20,000, sorry, 2,000 or 5,000 to make 20,000, 50,000. Usually, you know that it won't work that way. So scaling is another problem. It's a good problem, but then again, we need to learn how to scale strategically. So that's also another thing that I work with my clients, whereby we build a plan, we build a strategy on the scaling part. There are horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, and we just need to make sure that we scale in the right way without putting everything into one basket. Because when one thing is not working, the whole thing is going to be very messy. So yeah, that's how I work with my clients in terms of planning and optimization when it comes to meta advertising. So if you need help, let me bring up my screen. If you need help, right, I have two ways to work together with you. First is you can scan this QR code. This will take you to my TidyCal link where you can book a 30 minutes or 60 minutes one-on-one with me. in my opinion, if you just have a campaign, you've been running ads, you want to get started, and you just want to try it out whether this is a good fit for us to work together, you can scan this QR code to book a 30 minutes first. Usually what we do here is you can use this to get me answer any questions you have about meta advertising and digital marketing, or we can dive into your campaign, current campaign, to find out what's working and not working, to take it to the next level or fix the problem that you're having right here. So 30 minutes is good enough. But if you have more questions, you want to figure out the ads manager, you want me to walk you through on setting up the campaign, or you want to figure out the business portfolio, book 60 minutes instead. So that would give us more time to work together to solve any challenges that you're having, to get things right. Like recently, another client of mine, who is an agency. So what we did was we just spent good 2 hours setting up the whole business portfolio to make sure that we are starting on the right footprint, because that's really important. Otherwise, you're not building the right relationship with Meta, which is essential, because especially if you're a company or you're an agency, building that relationship helps Meta understand who you are, what you do, and to give you the support that you deserve in the long run. So yeah, but if you don't want a one-off thing, you want to be able to work with me in the long run. Usually, when I say long run, it's at least 2 to 3 months down the road, but it's, yeah, no contract anyway. So I do provide one-on-one meta ads coaching, or on the other hand, I also provide one-on-one meta ads done for you, with you kind of program, whereby what we usually do is very similar. So we will see how it works, right? So it's either you have been running ads, you just need somebody to watch over your shoulder to maybe discuss with you what's happening to your campaign, how do we optimize it one step at a time, because optimization may take a while. When I say a while, means about 2 3 months at max. But a lot of my clients choose to work with me in the long run. Like a lot of my clients have been working with me for about 2 3 years now, simply because it's always good to have a sparring partner, as in like we discuss, we brainstorm, we talk about what's working and what's not. And that's really how my client learn to really understand and analyze and optimize their campaign in the long run. But then again, the subscription is monthly, you can cancel anytime. But then if you want to work together on a regular basis, where I will give you more support along the way, like email support and stuff, you can scan this QR code, and yeah, let's have a quick chat to see whether we are good fit to work together. If yes, then let's do it. Otherwise, I'll point you to the right direction on where to start. All right. Okay, now I've got a few questions, not a lot today, but some of the old questions that I missed, I think it's worth bringing it up. So this is coming from Yeshua. So your question is, you want your lead to go into your email, and then it seems like it's not normal, easy to find item, but it's not. Yes, if you are running ads on Facebook and Instagram to generate leads, the lead doesn't go into your email right away. So when it comes to lead generation on Facebook and Instagram, I want you to understand there are multiple ways to do that. First is, of course, the most easy native lead form. So native lead form allows people to just fill up information like phone number, email address, and name and stuff like that, whatever you're asking for. Usually, it's the easiest way, because it become a native form. Once people click on it, it appears on Facebook and Instagram very, very seamlessly. And then a lot of their information like their name, email, and phone number are pre-filled in. So they just need to click the agree or whatever button, and it will goes to you. But the thing here is this lead doesn't go into your email. So it goes into your lead sender. You can just go into your business portfolio and look for a lead sender. But if you want the lead to go into your email, okay, what I would recommend to do is use Zapier. 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 It's a paid app, but it's totally worth it, because that allows you to automate the whole lead flow mechanism to come into your email. As in, like, once as and when you get a lead, it comes to your email. But I don't want you to stop there. When you are trying to use Zapier as an automation, I will recommend that you take this automation a notch higher, which is I want you to create an automation that nurtures your lead on the fly as and when they come in. So what I usually do is connect your lead using Zapier to an email marketing system. You get what I mean? So you can try a few. You have got MailerLite, which is something that I use, Bravo as well. So all these are very simple to use but very powerful email marketing tool that you can connect your lead on Meta into a CRM system of sort, because it's an email marketing system, right? So a few things, right? Use Zapier to connect, because once it's connect, right, you can actually build multiple step zaps over there. So first, once a lead comes through, you receive an email and immediately build an automation and start sending email through MailerLite, Bravo, to the leads that you have captured. So how we usually do that is that first, whether you're using MailerLite, Bravo, or MailChimp, whatever that you're using, build an automation. Automation means what? It's like a series of email. Once a person adds into your email list, it will start receiving email. So usually a warm-up email will take about like 5 to 7 emails within a week or two. So that it's actually a very good opportunity for you to introduce yourself further and give them some freebies or free resources so that they can start trusting you more. And at the same time, you do your thing, right? You call them, you WhatsApp them, you contact them for whatever. But at the same time, these people becomes your lead. Because when it comes to lead generation, I always like to highlight here is, you see, especially lead gen, your conversion usually is very low. Why? Because you're either selling something big like property, or you're offering some services that will take a while. That people may not need it right now. Like for example, if you're an agency, right? People may be interested in your offer, but they may be having an agency right now, but it doesn't mean that they are not interested in you. So do not stop there by generating the lead and contact them. If they respond, good. If they don't, just leave it away. Start building an automation and a habit to nurture your lead over time, because I do not know what you do, right? It's really important to have an automation. So you can try to work with ChatGPT to come up with a series of email that warms your audience. And then most of the tools like MailChimp, MailerLite, Bravo, these are all free, at least for first few hundred to a few thousand email subscribers. So use that tool. Since you're paying for Zapier already, make sure all these things are in place. And then start watching the open rate and all that you can optimize over time. And start really emailing your audiences. Create some content. You may not need to do it once a week or something like that. You can do it once a month or twice a month, at least to start appearing in front of them, because that also serves as a very powerful marketing. So yeah, this is really something about not just about advertising, but building a marketing automation machine that will change your everything. So yeah, that's some ideas that you can start with. But if you need help navigating some of the things, like you want help to really like look at your strategy, as in like what is your nurturing strategy. You want to look at your campaign analytics, for example, if you're running lead gen campaign, or you want my help to walk you through on certain things like set up the Zapier automation or whatnot. You can scan this QR code and book a one-on-one 20 minutes, or sorry, 30 minutes or 60-minute session with me, and we can work together on whatever need that you may have, and then we can address it together over a Zoom call. Okay, thanks for the question. So that's for that. Now, the next question I have here is coming from Kayen. So the question is, do ASC campaigns compete with each other, as you're running different ASC campaign, testing different creatives? All campaigns runs with the same location targeting? Yes, the answer is yes, they compete with each other, because especially when you're targeting, even if you're targeting a big pool of people. So yeah, it's really important for us when we are trying to build a campaign structure that is big. Whether it's big or small, I don't know, because it really depends. But I mean, long story short, right? Yes, especially if you're targeting a very specific city or country, when you have multiple campaign or ad sets targeting the same audience, especially now we're talking about the Advantage Plus sales campaign, they do compete among each other, but it's not actually a big deal. In fact, you know why? Because sometimes audience may need to see your ads multiple times in order to start recognizing you, remembering you, and take action. So we don't really worry about the competition too much unless the frequency is coming up too high. So the rule of thumb here is, when we do this kind of campaign, even let's say if you have like 5 campaigns or 10 campaigns targeting the same audience, right? So as long as on the weekly basis, the total frequency is not more than 3. Usually when you, let's say if you have 10, the total frequency of all these 10 campaigns come up together is not more than 3, you're actually in a good place. But if it's a little bit higher, then it may not be that big deal. But we have to monitor, because some campaign or some business may need to appear more times in order to start getting the right results coming in. So on the other hand, you should also consider doing something very important, which is exclusion. So let's say if you have 10 campaigns targeting the same audience, all right? Oh, so if you want to minimize the competition, you need to learn how to apply exclusion, as in like people who have interacted with your ad in the last 60 days or 30 days, for example, they shouldn't be seeing the same ad. People who have clicked on your ad in the last 30 days, they shouldn't be seeing the ad again. So that minimizes the frequency, and it actually reduces the competition among each other, because whether they have clicked on ad A or ad B, they won't be seeing the entire, or ad A to, like, sorry, ad 1 to 10, in the next 30 days. So that allows your campaign to reach more people in a more meaningful way, which is essential because it's all about number game when we're running ads, right? The more people you reach, the higher chance you get the result that you want. So it's all about number game. But at the same time, you should also consider having a retargeting campaign because that allows you to nurture your audience. Say, for example, people who have opened your lead form or your visited your website, but yet to become a lead in the last, say, 7 days. So this kind of campaign is called retargeting campaign. You should feed them with different messages whereby you can talk about the real benefit of your program, some testimonials, and even you appearing on a video to talk about your offer or whatnot. So that allows us to reinforce the message to increase the likelihood of these people in becoming a lead. So yeah, that's something that you can always, to buy. Now we're talking about sales, right? So yeah, these are all the things that we can actually plan in place. But relatively, we do not concern too much about the competition. But unless it's going up too high, the other thing that you can do is you can start breaking them into locations. Like for example, if you're targeting into a country, you can break them into region. You can break them into different things. But yeah, here's the thing. So yeah, I mean, whether you're on ASC, whether you're using the Andromeda campaign, there are many ways to structure your whole thing. But it's beneficial if we can actually look at your current structure right now and we strategize and plan something more meaningful to, to suit your situation. So if you need help navigating the campaign structure you have, planning your strategy, or even analyze the campaign to see what's working, what's not working, I recommend that you scan this QR code, which will take you to my TidyCap. You can book a 30 minutes call, which is already enough. I mean, if you just need me to come in and look at your campaign analytics, we analyze, we build a plan, and of course, we want to solve any challenges that you're facing right now. 30 minutes is good enough. But if you need help a little bit more, you want to be able to like you want somebody to guide you on navigating the ads manager, the business portfolio, and whatnot, then you can book 60 minutes instead because that allows us to have more time to work together and address the challenge that you're having over there. So, yeah, so that's something that you're looking for. Then scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right. So that's the second question. Then the next one is coming from Dirty Diana. So you're asking, how do you know if it's permanently restricted? People can still comment on the page and old videos, you just can't edit anything. Page is still earning money, no way to appear. Your page broke when you try to grow. You never ran ads. Oh, wow, that's painful because you're already making money. It means the monetization is already in place. So I think here's how we need to find out, right? First, go into your business portfolio or business suite that you have. I mean, it's either way. All right. So then go to a thing, look for settings or even a three-stroke button and look for something called support home. Go in there, it should give you some message about what's really happening in your campaign. I mean, sorry, in your page, in your ad account, in your business portfolio, and whatnot. But chances are, if you're still earning money and it's still coming into your account, your page may be still intact, but you may be restricted from doing certain things. Because if it's a permanent restriction, the whole thing is gone. But if it's a page that is restricted from advertising, based on what I know, it may not affect your monetization. But having said that, we want it to be able to do whatever because who knows, in the future, we may need to run ads for the page. If it's restricted, especially if it's a permanent restriction, it may be a big trouble, especially if your page is already being monetized. We want to make sure that we are in a very, like positive, I mean, in a safe place in order to make sure that we are like not losing any potential, having any potential risk to our page and all that. So we start from there, start with the business home and see what's in there, what it says about that. And then the next thing you can try to do here is you can try to, chat with Meta support. So whether you're in the Meta Business Suite or in the Meta Business Portfolio, on the bottom left, you should be able to find something like a question mark in a circle. Click on it, see whether you have a help button where you can actually, there will be an option if you have it, you'll be able to chat with Meta support, and hopefully they are able to help you figure out what's going on in your page and whatnot, that you're not able to comment. Sorry, you say that you're not able to edit anything. Commenting is fine. You're not able to edit anything, but how about posting? I just need to make sure that we are actually all right. But then again, this is all just me and trying to figure out. We won't be able to do that because we need to do a face-to-face discussion. But just in case you need help, you're not sure what's going on in your page, whether it's permanent, restricted, and whatnot. You can scan this QR code and book a 30 minutes Zoom call with me. And yeah, then we can find out what's going on in your page or your ad account or your business page or business portfolio and see how we can solve your problem. Or if I'm not able to provide you an answer to solve your problem, which is possible, because when it comes to permanent restriction, I won't be able to do anything, but at least we are able to find out together what really happens to your account and your page or your whatever, and we can plan the next steps ahead on what we can do to hopefully address the challenge or to make sure that we are okay in the long run. So yeah, if that's something they're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right, so that brings us to the last question for today. So this is Arlie. So your question is, um, it's 2026 now. The Advantage Plus shopping is now called Advantage Plus Sales Campaign. Yes, that's correct. You also get confused about how Advantage Plus sales is different from CBO campaign and the setup is the same. Does it mean that it's Advantage Plus sales campaign and Advantage Plus sales ABO? That's a mouthful. Yeah, no. It's actually the same. It's just the name that is different. Advantage Plus sales campaign, Advantage Plus ad campaign, Advantage Plus lead campaign are the names right now. And we do not know whether Meta will be changing the name in the future or not. But here's the thing, right? When the name change, certain thing may be a little bit different, may look a little bit different, but everything is the same. Now, when it comes to CBO and ABO, it is still available in Advantage Plus campaign. Advantage Plus sales, Advantage Plus lead, you still have the option to bring it into a CBO or an ABO. But I assume that when you're bringing up CBO and ABO, you understand the differences between these two. But then again, for those who are watching this video, you're not sure. CBO means you have a campaign optimization, a budget optimization, meaning you set a campaign budget, let's say $100 a day, and then you just let Meta do its job in distributing which ad set. So let's say, for example, if your campaign has got multiple ad sets, say, for example, you have an ad set targeting people who are 25 to 34, the other one targeting 35 to 44, and the other one targeting, like 45 and above, for example. Now, when you have three different ad sets, my question to you here is, do you want to make sure that each and every one of them spends the same? If you do, then I do not recommend CBO. CBO means, let's say when you have three ad sets in there, Meta may see some ad sets that may have potential to spend more or to reach better results. They will spend more on it. And when they do that, the other ad set will not get spent. And it's not fair because we're not testing which ad set works better over here. And if you even we want to try to test which ad set works better, or rather here we're trying to test which age group works better, we want to have even distribution of budget, because otherwise, how do we really know? So it really depends on when are you going to do that. So it also depends on the campaign structure as well. So let's say, for example, if you have only one campaign, one ad set, and multiple ads in it, in my opinion, it doesn't matter whether you want to do a CBO or ABO, because just a one ad set. So try to understand the control. That is also very important for us to determine what kind of campaign structure that we should build for our campaign. So you really need to know, based on what is your current situation or what do you plan to do in your campaign, then we would draw up. Because that's what I help a lot of my clients do as well. Because frankly speaking, you may have your idea about how you want to structure this thing, but you may not really know or understand the ads manager or whatever structure you have in meta advertising to be able to deploy whatever you have in your head into a campaign structure that really helps you test or helps you run your campaign in the structure that you want. So yeah, so I hope my answer is sufficient for you to do understand your consideration between CBO and ABO. Because ABO means, let's say for example, on the other hand, you have three ad sets in the campaign. Say you have one 25 to 34, sorry, 33, 34 to 45, stuff like that. You get what I mean? So let's say three different age group. You want to control. Let's say each one you want to spend $30 on it. So in that case, then we would just use ABO and we set $30 each on each day to let it spread. I mean, the benefit of this is that, let's say in the future, in the long run, I mean, like let's say a week or two down the road, we realize that the best performing is 35 to 44. Now, in that case, we want to spend more money on it. Can we? Yes, because that's the best control in my opinion. If we want to really like able to navigate and throttle and adjust the budget according to what's working, what's not working, that's the better way, because we want to have control. It's either you want to where you want to have your control, right? And how much control you want to have in your campaign. So that's really the important things you need to think about when you're trying to build a structure that, like works best for your campaign that you're envisioning right now. So yeah, just in case if you need help, talking about campaign structure, how do we build this thing together? How do we build the best way to run ads for our business in the way that we want it? Yeah, you can scan this QR code. I would say maybe start with the 30 minutes. It's good enough for us to really sit down, brainstorm, and start building a plan, and we take it from there. All right? Yeah, if it's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to working with you. All right. So with that, that wraps our weekly live. Thank you so much for watching me live. Though you are not saying anything over there, thanks whoever you are. And for those who are watching the replay, thank you as well. Remember, if you have any questions regarding meta advertising and digital marketing, all you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up next week on Sunday night between 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. usually. Well, yeah, to answer your questions live over here. With that, thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Good night. Bye.